Hello and welcome to Drakenmemoria. For those of you wondering what this is, well, it's Dungeons and Dragons, or more specifically, a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons. So if this is not something you want to watch, well, depending on where you are, there are suggestions either to the right or the left. You are free to browse through those options. If you're here because you actually want to be here, or because you were looking for Dungeons and Dragons and it wasn't specific to our channel, but hey, Dungeons and Dragons is Dungeons and Dragons. Well, like I said, for anyone who actually wants to be here, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us. If you're back from a previous session, it's a pleasure to have you back. If you're new,
bless you.
Exactly.
That was a second late.
Interesting reaction. If you're a new viewer, it's a pleasure to have you with us. All right. So after this very special reaction, well, like I always say, small channel, only a few things to say before we start. So if you want this introduction to be larger, you can follow us, you can subscribe, you can share the channel with your friends. I doubt family, but hey, some people have actually involved their entire family with this. So anyone you feel like sharing this with, it's going to make more people listening, and maybe one day we'll be big enough for someone to actually contact me and try to have us sponsor something.
Yeah.
Preferably related to Dungeons and Dragons or tabletop RPG, you know.
Tell your dad, tell your brother, tell your dog, tell your cat. Tell them all.
Well, yeah, no, actually that's not a bad idea. They do say that animals are watching TV more and more. Just make sure it's not an animal that can change the channel. You just put them in front of TV, make them watch us, and that's it. You got it.
Yeah, yeah.
I was reading Dune to my cat.
Alright, so if you like the crackling fire, it's ambient mixer. There's a link below. That's about everything that I have to mention. If you're here from Chaotic Calling, well, the rest of your friends are probably going to be here in half an hour, something like that. And if you're wondering what Chaotic Calling is, link below. Again, it's another Dungeons and Dragons channel. And that's about it. So, let's get started with this episode. Eventually, we'll get a nice introduction, maybe something that you can watch, something that's going to be cool to react to, and oh wow, look at this! Stick figure fighting! It's probably going to be the first thing that's going to happen, because I'm not that good at animation. But hey, stick figure fighting, Dungeons and Dragons themed combat, that's always fun. I hope, anyway. Alright, so just imagine that the introduction is just finished and we're starting. So, last episode. Oh wow, how do we start this? Let's just say that last year, first episode of the year, last year the party scavenged the remain of the Rakshin. And how can we put this gently? They created a bloody mess. They hacked and slashed and removed everything.
We took most of the blood away.
We can't have caught all of it.
Yeah, but
it's not a mess if it's in a barrel.
Well, that's just barrels of blood. But you did put inside of the dimensional space fangs, part of brains. Hold on, I have the list here. Scales, fangs, blood, 3 kidneys, a heart, a liver, 2 bladders of something, a small brain, and a vesicule that you do not know what's inside of it. So after this interesting mess, the party gathered back to the village and looked into the last part of their quest, the taire which had formed in the middle of the village. With the help of those who had been left behind in the village, including a poor caretaker who has been named against its will.
Patron.
Yeah. They quickly concluded this last part and went back on their way, hoping that Connie was right, and the sliver of the Frost Realm, which might be recoverable, could lead to exploring the icy realm of the Frost Shard. And so, they went back on the road and made their way to their next part of the adventure. Just as they were leaving Ran, they were contacted by the garden, telling them that the bar that they were looking for had been found. And it was on its way to a very small village, roughly a day's away from where they were. The bard would be there in a day and a half, approximately. So, they all gathered up, they went back on the road, they crossed the village, the town of Septane, where they saw that they, actually were considered to be good people. You know, people waved at them, they were happy to see them again, that's a nice change. Your name are being known for once, and for good reasons. So, eager to have some long-awaited answer, they made their way. They kept on going, and made their way to a small village that I thought that I had the name written down, but apparently I don't. That's weird. I'm gonna have to rename the village. Alright. Well, I'm gonna have to rename the village or revisit last episode and find out what
No,
the
it's all
name
good.
was.
We all wrote down the name of the village, right?
Of course. Because you're all so good at taking notes. I'm sure that by
I'm
the...
okay. I just didn't have my notes.
Oh,
So
the one
that's not on
time.
me.
I'm sure that in this episode where you're going to meet a bard that's going to be answering questions about a god and probably story element, relevant things for the development of this campaign, you will take notes. I'm sure, convinced.
I have something to take. Oh, where my notebook went.
So tell me, do I need to be more explicit? Take notes.
Listen, it's not in
fine.
my
I'll just
character's
watch the VOD
nature
later.
to take notes, so I'm just role-playing by not taking notes. I expect the...
There you go. Yeah.
All right, so
All
we
audiences,
can forgive
bad aim
audience.
checks.
So we can forgive audience. All right. And of course, what happened? Why is this all weird? Hold on. My OBS is not liking me for some reason. Let's see, can we... Okay, good, it's back. Got me scared for a moment. Okay. Apparently I mistakenly removed the notes on which I was writing. Ah, here we go. Something important for the quest. Alright. So, as I remember, the last episode ended with Remy showing off his set of epic battle, showing the children of the village a epic battle between angels and demons and fiends, and even receiving a little bit of money. And that was how the night ended, I believe. Everyone went to bed. Unless there's something that you forgot to tell me you wanted to do before going to bed. I believe that's where we were. Ready to wake up. Unless, Fisher, you want to, like you said and told me you'd be doing more in the near future. Unless you actually want to try and sleep.
That's a good question.
Now, granted, there's not a lot to catch up with. Even meditating, not a lot happened since the last prophecy
guess
was
we are.
given. But
At an inn, anyway. Is there space at the end, or is it all super booked up because the bard's coming to town?
it's a very small village. Even there's a bit of an odd reaction that you see among people. They feel very honored by the fact that he's visiting them. Usually, bards of with this great a reputation, they don't often take time to visit small village because it's usually not very profitable. The best they can hope is to have free lodging, not even actual relevant money for their trouble. But this one apparently still takes the time to entertain the smaller village. So it's mostly just the village. There are few adventurers, few people that have came, mostly from Crossroad, the town that's nearby. But mostly random travelers and the villagers. So there's room.
Then yeah, I'd get a room.
All right.
I almost died yesterday.
Come on. Keyword almost.
Almost is the difference between life and death.
Yeah.
You can almost do it again.
Almost is also the difference between virgin and not. So, you know.
Wow,
that
that was a
evolved.
leap even for you.
that evolved quickly.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just giving a perfectly natural example where it's like you either go all the way or you didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course.
See, there was setup to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just like a player that I set up around a table saying, are you playing poker? Yeah. Alright, enact it. Get the first hand, and he just goes and says, alright, hit me. What do you think happened? Alright, so everyone goes to bed. I'd say Fisher, since you are going to bed. Probably the cheapest room, as you have very little need. No real need for comfort. But, you know, you could if you want to. Small village, so you have choice between the really, really bad room and a room for poor people. And there's one or two modest room. I wager that audience wants to have one of the modest ones.
Then I will get the other one. Partially because I don't want to break a bed I feel like a shitty bed might collapse under the.
Under the stone abs that you have. Buns of steels. All right.
thank
so
you.
310
Drop a few pounds.
plus. How much does plate weigh?
All right, so
Can't take that off.
Well, it's gonna take an hour if you want to meditate, so it comes off.
No.
It's like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
All right, so it's 5 silver for your night, since you're not used to paying for a lodging. This is what they pay. This is what they ask, and it's a very normal price.
Okay. Got it.
All right.
Yeah, I'll pay it.
So, as always, since you're trying to sleep, make a wisdom saving throw.
Guidance.
You're not in his room.
That's not even. That's not a save
I just
either.
sneak in and I'm whispering into your ear.
He's trying to sleep.
Audience is like hanging out and just 10 feet next to him, so he gets +2 to save.
Yeah.
It's just like, oops. Cuddle with me.
Like, it's no, Jorg just happens to be at the exact minute where he's about to make the save, so it's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, just,
Have we
I
gotten
sneeze
a
in my
long
spot.
rest since? Is this our first rest since fighting the thing, or no? We slept.
You had a. Hold on. Yes, you had a night. You had a night. You had a
Okay.
night's rest.
So I have the lucky coin if I need it. I need it. That was a 5. Hold on.
And the next one is
just wake
a 4.
up, flip your coin, go back.
An 8,
And then,
which is a 7.
fucking Christ.
God damn. How long have you been rolling for this?
well,
What?
he succeeded once.
Okay, you did succeed once.
Yeah, just once.
Well, that's the like. Yeah, I think I got like an 18 once, but every other time hasn't. I think that 7
And you have to take
is
into
like one of the
consideration that
highest.
every time he rolls and fails, I reduce the difficulty level by 1 point. So eventually he has to succeed.
So what are we at now? Like 10? 9?
Yeah. I still missed it though.
Well, yeah,
Up 5.
I think you've only actually slept 4 times with this one since you had your disturbing vision.
Yeah, probably.
It's been
So,
building up.
But still, 4 times under 5 is.
all right. So you fall asleep with Jorg whispering in your ears and audience
That's what's doing
entering
it. It's
your
hard to
room
fall asleep.
every minute or so. You sleep yet? You sleep yet? But the night is eventless for you, and in the morning you wake up. Ah, you lost another 8 hours. Well, fortunately, no one drew a mustache on you, so you're good.
Wait,
Where did Onag sleep?
Most likely outside, since no one invited him in, and no one paid for a room for him, so...
He's a tree.
Dang.
why would a tree want to be inside?
I feel like that's a trick question. Alright, so... You wake up in the morning. Let's see how pleasant or not it is today. And... Well, of course, as usual, it's high roll for the wind. But the rest of the day, oh, it's a bit chilly outside today. Yeah. It's a chilly
Jorg,
morning.
when are you gonna get to 15th level, just so that you can control the weather and not make it windy all the time?
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll do that. I'll do that.
Hurry up, man.
As soon as I can.
So, bit chilly, but that's to be expected. The weather is slowly transitioning toward fall. But other than that, it was an eventless night. You all had whatever you do during your night. Normal dreams, even for Remy, whose dreams mostly look like a half an hour long video made of 5-second shorts throughout the entire sequence.
I want you to imagine just like an 6 to 8 hour long compilation of YouTube poops from the mid 2000s.
I want dreams like that.
Sounds like what I go to sleep.
I don't need
to every
dreams
night.
like that. That's what happens when I'm bored.
Yeah, imagine.
What happened today? Oh.
Okay, so you wake up in the morning, everything is nice, everything is pretty, slightly chilly in the air. Orunak is doing Orunak stuff, just looking around, children being fascinated, adults being weirded out by the fact that there's a living tree with 5 eyes looking at them.
How are Ornak's eyes positioned?
They're almond
Like a
shaped,
circle.
and they're all positioned in a bit in a fan-like position, all aiming at a single point and in maybe an angle that is this big, with one being here, 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 and here.
Okay.
And they're black in color. Turane has 7 eyes, so he's even weirder. But yeah, that's about what you can see as you get up. You're not sure when the bard is going to arrive during the day, so if you have something you'd like to take care of, things to buy, things to settle between all of you, you have somewhere between an hour and half a day. If you have nothing, then I'm just going to skip to the next event. Basically, I'm giving you this moment that you have in every single game where if you go back to the inn, it jumps you to the next event. So I'm asking you the question, are you sure you're done around town?
Do you guys have healing potions?
I got one.
I believe so. Yeah, I've got maybe.
Nope.
In that case, whether or not everyone has one, is I was going to do this anyways. I will go and buy what ingredients I haven't been able to scrounge for healing potions and spend my time with my brewing station brewing one.
Okay.
This is like, how long is it per potion?
For minor healing potion,
I think it's just 8 hours.
I think I was gonna try and verify that, but I think it's just 8 hours, and that's supposed to be to include scavenging for material. So,
Okay.
I believe it's in Sanitar's Guide to Everything. Potion.
By the way, Toby, remember that box of greater healing potions you got from our pirate ship fight? In the 2nd episode or 3rd episode of the campaign?
I'm pretty sure those got taken from me.
Yeah, I still have the one you gave to me at that time.
Really?
From that
Holy
box.
shit.
That's the one I still have.
Audience doesn't get hit.
That's crazy.
I do get hit. I don't ever want to use an action on
You don't use consumables.
Yeah.
He's a dragon. He hoards things.
I guess I would go to the innkeeper Ask him if there's a shop around town where I could find a nice kimono. If there's not, then
Oh
that's
goodness.
fine. 'Cause I show him the holes in my shirt and like the holes in my once had out kimono.
Okay. All right. For the magical item, it's usually a common item, like a potion, is half a week, so 4 days with 8 hours a day, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah, I believe that's how it's calculated.
yeah, I was seeing potion of healing, 25 gold pieces, 1 day to craft. Player level minimum third heals 2d4 plus 2.
Okay, no, that's...
But that's just a small healing potion.
Oh,
The,
no, that's
the
alright.
higher level ones take longer.
No, it's because in Xanathar's Guide to Everything, there's a table relating
yeah.
to the magical objects, and half for consumable item like potion and scroll, and for common object, they say 1 work week.
There's specific
Yeah.
so specific overrides general thing. There's specific
If it's written
healing potion stuff.
If it's written
outside of that.
otherwise, yeah, it's. So yeah, no. If you have a place where it's written, oh, potion of
Yeah, this
healing. Goodness. Next page. Yeah.
Oh.
1 day.
Yeah, for just a
I was
small
just
one,
not at
and
the right page. I'm so sorry about that.
then- That's all.
So yeah,
But
1
then,
day.
yeah, the
So
greater one is.
it's 8 hours. You've already spent a few hours looking for it. Hacker must spend 1 week and at least 25 gold gathering information and potential tar. No, not crime. Good lord. Okay. You've already spent a bit of time gathering this. So I'd say you'd probably be able to make 1 potion. And it would cost you around 15 gold to get the missing ingredient.
All right. I will do that while we wait for. I'll do it in the inn too while we wait for the guy, the bard.
Yeah.
Spend my 15.
Alright. So, you see Jorg sitting at a table or outside under a tree or next to Wogunak, you know, it's the same thing.
Mm-mm.
It's just not the same height. Hey, goodness, my players are resubscribing. Are you worried that I might kill you today?
Oh, gotta keep your.
We're trying to get
Hey, better
information
safe than
about.
sorry.
Yeah, we're trying to get information about like an important quest and prophecy. I'm just saying that I just sub for.
No, I completely agree. I really enjoy receiving this money. One day I plan on living on it. Hopefully not off of you specifically, but off of a lot of people.
No, let's stick with actually hopefully off me, because that would mean I was million or
Yeah,
millionaire,
you're making
so,
enough to
Yeah, let's stick with that.
just hire a full-time DM.
No, I like playing Dungeons and Dragons. I wouldn't mind being hired full time, so long as you're paying the equivalent of a full-time job. All right. Kimono. That's well, you're not that far from Crossroad. Maybe you'd get lucky. Let's see. Oh, you gotta be really lucky if you want this. Nah,
Can
unfortunately.
you borrow your coin, Fisher?
You already used it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was last night, though.
Well, technically, yeah.
But it does require attunement.
Yeah.
And I'm not shopping with you.
He's not gonna shop for a dress, you know. All right. No, unfortunately, you find someone that has necessary material to make one, but none pre-made.
Alright, then I'll leave and wait at the end.
Okay. As you're making your way back to the inn, well, actually, let's see if Remy and audience, maybe Fisher wants to do something also in this 1 to 4 hours.
Audience is chilling. Audience is just probably in the tavern. I'm not doing much.
Okay. Remy and Fisher?
Yep.
Are you clicking yes on the yes, I want to go to the inn? Or no, I still want to go shopping.
Yeah, I'll ready up.
Okay.
I mean, after Raimi made sure to polish his gens because he hasn't really had a private place to do that in a while. He's then going to, honestly, actually no, I've been meaning to do this too. He's just going to go ahead and start generating some flasks of holy water.
Okay.
Now that they're not in a moving vehicle.
Always useful. Okay. So, most likely, audience, you see Remy just taking a place, a sturdy table, pouring water in a container, and mixing it with a little bit of salt, and a stone to mix everything. And well, being a paladin, you'd probably have a feeling of, that feels like this water's been blessed in some way.
Interesting.
All right. I believe on the description of the object, did I say how long it takes?
I am double checking that now. On the saltstone proper,
Yeah.
right? Discord was shut up for a
Yeah,
second.
So,
No, it doesn't say how much time. It only
Okay.
says how much it makes.
okay. Well, it's basically the same thing as mixing salt with water. It takes the time it takes to dissolve the salt in the water. Haven't tested how long it takes to dissolve salt in water, so
I mean, theoretically,
Depends how much salt and how big the crystals are.
yeah. Well, I've written the quantity of salt and the quantity of water. You just need to make the experiment.
well, I guess I would say what would be your opinion on how long it would take to mix, as in how much is required, how much of the mixing requires human intervention, and how much of it is just letting it sit.
Well, it takes a lot longer if you just let it sit. Believe me, that's something I've tried too often. Mixing it takes a lot less time to complete the process. But it's usually not more than a few minutes. So let's say you can make one flask of holy water every 10 minutes. That should be not a bad time to make this, as long as you mix it vigorously.
Well, then I guess at that point, just because you said it was like between 1 and 4 hours, I guess it's like just depends on like either when something happens or when Raimi gets tired.
Well, that can also mean that you can take your time. Okay. And in that case, you know how many empty vials you have, and how much salt you have on you. If not, I believe
Yeah,
audience has.
those I do know.
If not, audience, I believe has a full pound of salt that he took from Tobiyashi, or is that Fisher?
I don't think I took it from him.
No,
he-
I stored it. I stored it in his thing.
He stored it in my thing.
Oh.
I have salt in my thing.
So you know there's a pound of salt in audience's dimensional storing, if you're missing some.
Oh no, trust me, I have plenty of sanctified salt.
Okay. So, Tobiyashi, as you're going about in this small village, feeling a bit bored, you know, there's not actual shop in here. You had to ask a few persons, which sent you to an old lady who is the most proficient at making clothes, and this is where you realize that, oh, you know, doesn't... Let's just say that they don't have the same dressing standard as you, so, alright, it's normal that they wouldn't have kimono on you. Maybe you should send a letter to, to your monastery.
Yeah.
You sort of have a fixed address now. Sort of. As you're going outside, you find yourself staring at someone staring at you.
Okay. I'll look at him as he's staring at me. I kind of look back to see if he's staring at someone else real quick,
No,
and then look back at him.
he's staring at you.
I'll wave at him.
The moment that you wave, he starts walking toward you. And as you arrive just in front of you, looks at you for a moment, and he bows to you.
I'll bow back.
Then you roll initiative because he attacks you.
Wait, really?
Yes.
You got
Yo,
You asked for it last episode.
I rolled a 4.
You rolled a 4. Okay.
Is that with your dex?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. That's with my dex.
All right. Well, apparently you were really surprised because you rolled a natural 20.
Thinking he was from another monastery or something, you know?
Well, this is not extremely unusual as a monk. Some people will sometimes challenge a monk.
Okay.
You just didn't expect it to be this sudden.
Yeah.
you know it's weird.
Yeah.
In my experience, it's usually the other way around. But anyway,
And so, apparently, they have the first attack. So, well, judging quickly, he looks to be of a similar skill than you, except he doesn't appear to have multi-classed. So,
Oh dear.
Oh, no.
wait.
oh, that's really unfortunate for you specifically.
Yeah. It's not gonna... Okay. All right. We'll see.
So, the first attack you receive, a nice basic punch, 13 to hit, and the other one 16 to hit.
They both do not hit.
They-
I dodge out of the way. Ooh.
You block one, dodge the other one.
There we go.
All right. And then before I sock him, I'm gonna ask, what is this about? And then yeah, before he answers, I'm gonna sock him right in the face.
There you go.
All right, attack.
Alright. Hello, what I roll? I rolled a 16 to hit.
That is exactly what you need to hit him.
All right, nice. All right, I hit him. I rolled a 6 for damage. And then after that, I will ask him again, what is this about? And then use Fury of Blows. Because I can.
Yes, of course you can.
Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong one. That's the Flick Missile. Sorry.
Yes,
What?
use the appropriate ones.
All right, so the first one misses because it's a 7.
Okay,
And then the second one hits because it's an 18.
okay,
And then I will do 7 points of damage.
okay. All right, since this is a duel, you roll for initiative every round.
Okay. I rolled a 14 for initiative.
What's your dexterity? You also rolled a 14.
Plus 3? Yeah, no. It's 11 plus 3.
Well, that's gonna be interesting. Apparently, you both sock each other at the same time. So...
All right. See what I roll. Oh, no. That's a 10 to hit.
That is not enough. All right. So, with a better idea of what kind of damage you can do, you recognize someone using a key point and activating Fury, not Fury of Blow, but Fury of Blows. It's not the same result.
Almost the same. Almost, but you know.
Like that one's for you, Demon Dart.
All right.
What does this guy look like as I'm socking him? Well, as I'm missing.
It looks like a human, relatively the same age as you, somewhere in his 20s.
Okay.
Looks very focused. All right, so the first normal attacks are a 16 and 8.
They do not hit.
Do not hit. So, flurry of blows.
We're dodging each other at this point. This is turning into a Dragon Ball Z battle. And,
Flurry of blows. The first one is... Yeah, no, exactly. It feels like a bit Dragon Ball-esque. 14. And...
Nope.
Oh, the other one is a 22.
that hits.
And so,
That's a rock to this doll.
as this one connects, he expends another key point and does Stunning Strike.
Ooh.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh. Okay. Con save. Let's see. If my dice would roll on my screen, it'd be a lot easier to read. I roll 19 for con save.
Oh, that is enough to save. You recognize the hit that he was just about to do, and you don't deflect it enough to not take damage, but you deflect it enough to not take the hit in your sensitive parts. Damage, that's right. We have to calculate damage, even though it's a... And so you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as you take this one
Alrighty.
punch somewhere in your stomach. Just a and
So where are we right now? Is he behind like a wall, or are we like?
he was just
So,
waiting
like-
for you next to a as you came out of this house. He was just next to what would be similar to a small fence.
All right.
But as you manage to punch and push his arm away, you see him duck behind the fence, a little stone fence, and as you just crane your neck to see where he is for the next round, he's gone.
What the hell? Yo, I look around for a second. I'm like, where the hell? I look at someone to see if I look at people around us to see if someone was watching. Does anybody notice?
Make another initiative. You're not out of combat.
Yo, that's a 15 for initiative.
You have the exact same dexterity. So if you roll the same thing on the dice, you go at the same time. What did you roll on your dice?
I rolled a 12.
He rolled a 15 on his dice. So he
Oh my
does go
gosh.
first. And, of course, as you are a bit confused, suddenly you see him jump out of a shadow and hit you again with another I keep saying flurry of blows. Flurry of blows. All right. Well, that's an 8 is not gonna hit. Good lord. Well, you got a nice You got nice reactions. So an 8, a 9, a 13, and a 22.
Okay, the 22 hits.
So you see him arriving, and he just starts pummeling you using the key energy he has. But you manage to block all of them. But this one punch is coming right at you, and again he expends a key point to make a stunning strike.
This guy. Oh my gosh, that's a 9.
Oh! Just as you're about to react to his punch, he managed to hit you right next to the jaw, and you see stars for a moment. Fortunately, you are stunned.
Oh my gosh.
Until the end of your turn, you just got... Initiative?
And he never got another turn the rest.
Well, that's what happens.
Alright, that's
when
a
you fight
21
monks.
for initiative.
This time you beat him.
Okay. So I get this turn, right?
Yes.
Or do I not get this?
No,
next one? Okay.
a stunning strike only lasts until the end of your next turn. A 16
It ends until the end of the monks who did it.
the monks who did it. Oh,
Yeah, the end of the
No,
month
I don't
did
get
it.
this turn.
Oof.
yeah.
No, I
He
rolled
loses a
20.
whole.
So it'd be
Regardless.
better if you were slow.
So no, that's right. You can't take action. You can still move. You just
No,
can't
alright,
take
not even
action.
No, I can't move or anything.
You sure? Stun?
Yeah.
There are
Stunned
plenty
is-
of things you
I
can't
should
do
be.
while you're
I
stunned.
can't do anything when I'm stunned.
Stunned is you can't do anything.
All right.
Automatically fail strength
The
and
only-
dex saves.
the only worst
All attacks
condition-
against you are with advantage.
The
Yeah.
only
Stunning
worst
strike
condition
is
is paralyzed, and that's only because
ridiculous.
paralyzed turns a hit into a critical hit.
All right. So the first attack, he's gonna go with flurry of blows. We're at
With advantage on every hit.
4 hits with advantage. So the first one, the best he gets is 11. The second one, the best he gets is 15. The third
Okay.
one, the best he gets is 21. And the
Okay.
fourth one, the best he gets is, come on, you're you're still seeing stars. You're moving falteringly.
I just have my arms up with my bracers.
Yeah,
and the fence on.
basically, you have this reflex of, oh shit! Ah.
They get hit in the stomach. Ugh.
Yeah, you get hit once. So 4 points of damage, minimum damage. All right. No, he's not gonna use stunning strike this time. I didn't create a level 20 monk. You know, he has limited amount of key points. So,
Okay. Hopefully.
So, all right. This turn, you actually do get to. No, next turn. We roll initiative again.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
What did you roll?
I rolled an 8.
I rolled an 18. Apparently, he goes first. All right. Seeing that
He's gonna stun you now.
you seem to be confused again. Well, no, you're not confused anymore. So, I'm gonna use one key point to make flurry of blows.
I'm just in wow at an enemy hitting me so much because they think I'm such a
Oh wow! All right, I think your defense has just been broken. The first hit is 14. The second one is 22. The third one is 18, and the last one is 22 again.
Oh my gosh. I got hit 3 times. Just tell me the damage.
Oh no, they're hit points amongst only weakness.
Yeah.
So it's a grand total of 19 points of bludgeoning damage as you just received this barrage of blows.
I am bleeding right now.
But you
No,
actually
good
get a turn.
Pop up blood. I actually get a turn this time. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sock him.
Okay.
That's a 20 to hit.
That is enough to hit him.
Alright. So, I do 7 points of damage. And then next, I'm going to do a Fury of Blows.
Okay.
That is a 22 to hit.
That is enough to hit.
And that hit is 6 points of damage. And then the next hit is a 20 to hit.
That is enough to hit.
That is 7 points of damage. And then after that, I am going to use... Oh my gosh. Should I use it? Why not? Why not? I'm going to use Accent Surge.
Okay.
And I'm going to feel like I had enough of this. And I'm going to shoot my... silk at him and try to grapple him.
Okay.
So it's his strength against my wisdom.
Natural 1. He doesn't manage to resist.
All right. Let's see. That is a 19 for my wisdom. And
You managed to grapple
I
him.
grapple him. Yeah, I'm gonna grapple him around both arms and kind of pull them close to me, and make sure he's held in. And what do I do? What action? Okay, so grapple.
He can't move. Unless you
Yeah,
have
he
the
can't-
grappling feat, you don't get any more bonus. But right
Mhm.
now, he can't leave.
I think I could choose to. Wait, I have to check this silk thing. 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Mhm.
Silk dancer. No. Yeah, silk weaving. Okay. So, make a crumple attention while the ribbon target. If the target is grappled, silk dancer can attempt to further its grip on the victim by making a second grappling attempt. If successful, the victim is restrained.
Yes,
So-
but you have to make a second grappling
Yeah, I
attempt.
have
So
to make a
another
second.
attack action on him.
Okay. So I don't have any more of those. I will. I guess we roll initiative again
Okay.
because that's the end of my turn because he's grappled. All right, initiative. That's a 19 for my initiative.
20!
Oh my god!
Because grapple is just you can't move. He could still attack you.
He can still attack me, man.
He can bite.
He can headbutt me. He can
Exactly.
kick me.
So, First attack is a 13. Second attack is a normal 20.
That hits.
And he's going to use his last key point to make a stunning strike on the strike that hits.
Okay, let's do a con. The con is an 18.
That is enough to resist him.
All right.
He headbutts you. But fortunately, you manage to pull your head just enough so that you are not completely whacked by this attempt. But you do take a grand total of maximum damage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 10 points of bludgeoning damage. As this blow most likely breaks your nose.
Yeah. Alright. I will use my next attack action to further my grapple. So do we just do another contest of strength and whiz?
Of course.
Alright. What does he roll?
You rolled the 16.
I rolled a 3.
So he recognized what you're trying to do, and he just moves enough that you can't wrap your silk more. Currently looking like a spider trying to rope in this poor insect.
Alright, as I have him still grappled, I'm going to use one more key point, and I'll use Fury of Blows again. And we'll see. I'll pull him close to me and try to kick him. The first one misses, that's a 9. And then the second kick is a 24 to hit. And I will kick him right across the face with a 7 points of damage. And after I kick him... So what would happen if I have him grappled in place, okay?
Yeah.
And then I kick him with the Crusher feet to try to move him back 5 feet. Would he not move? Or would he fall on the ground?
You would break your own grapple.
I'd break my own grapple?
Yeah, or you can try
Rules
and
as
keep
written.
your grapple and fall with him.
Okay. Alright, so I won't use the Crusher feet. And yeah, I'll just kick him.
Well, by grappling, it's a bit of a sticky thing because some DMs, depending on how, if
I
their
have 10
grapple
feet.
range is longer, if they're
Yeah.
still within that range when they get moved, then it's fine. But
Yeah, I don't know how
it's
close
gonna
he is.
depend on Draken there.
No, that's true. Your silk allows you to grapple someone at 10 feet distance. So,
Yes.
so long as you do not push him beyond 10 feet of you, it wouldn't break the grapple.
Alright, yeah. I'll just kick him. I'll kick him 5 feet. He'll still be in range. And then that'll be the end of my turn. And then initiative again.
All right. How many hit points do you have left?
26.
You sure?
I'm pretty low. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Wait, yeah. So so the second one he hit me for 19, right?
Yeah, I think there's one missing.
Okay, yeah. So wait. Yeah. There. No, I'm at 20 points of hit points now. Yeah. I don't know why it didn't save the second time.
Okay, that's all right. All right, so initiative.
Initiative. Did I roll? No, I didn't. Initiative. Yep. It is 8 for initiative.
13. So
Damn.
he goes,
Alright,
first. So,
How is he looking right now?
about the same as you.
Alright.
So, what is he gonna do?
This wasn't the fight club I was looking for.
He can't. He can't move away, but he can't. He can move toward you.
Yes, you can.
You,
Wait, though.
Yeah.
How did you rule it? Or how did you make this thing?
So we
They're
can't-
grappled, but they could still move toward them?
I just mean since he pushed him back to the maximum range of his silk, which is 10 feet. So the grapple means he can't move away, but he could just move toward him.
It's not like I'm holding him with my
So
arm.
it's a special grapple condition, but not.
It's like
actually
grappling someone.
Yeah.
It's like grappling someone with a whip.
High tensile strength.
All right. So first attack, 18. Second attack,
That hits.
6.
That doesn't hit.
All right. He tries. Oh goodness. He sees this perfect moment. He runs toward you, jump up, and headbutts you as he's coming down. 9 points of damage.
Oh God. I am at 11 hit points now.
Fortunately,
He
as
broke my
you
nose twice.
fortunately as you take a step back from the hit, the second hit misses you with a 6. So
All right.
it's your turn.
I'll go for another hit. Boom. That is a 24 to hit.
That is enough to hit.
All right, first one. That does 4 points of damage, which sucks. And then I will do... instead of doing another hit, I will do... Gosh. He was at the same hit points as me. More... He has more... Okay, I'm going to use Second Wind. And I'll go up 10 hit points, 1d10 plus 2. So do I roll the 1d10?
Yes.
Okay. 4. I get 6 hit points back. Wait, what is that? 11, so it's 1 more. So I'm at 17 hit points. And, let me check something really quick. Anything else? I cannot. We roll initiative again.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. That's a 20 for my initiative.
His initiative is only a 9.
Alright, cool. As I see him, kind of fumbling, I am going to go in for a headbutt. And boom. Oh my god. That is a 7 as I pull him forward to try to headbutt him.
He managed to dodge this even though he's looking like a sausage.
And then... oh my gosh. And then I will use my... You know what? I don't care. I'm going to use my last key point to use Fury of Blows.
Okay.
That's a 26 to hit.
That is
That
enough.
was a natural 20.
Okay.
Ooh.
So a natural 20. The first damage. So I roll the damage twice, or do I just times it twice?
You roll. You can do both. Rolled damage, so anything that is diced, you can either roll twice or double. I don't
double.
mind either. Anything that is fixed damage doesn't get doubled. So you.
All right, so
Dex-
9 plus 9 is... that's like... Wait, so...
Well, subtract your dexterity once if you're doubling the value.
Okay,
Because you're
okay.
rolling just 2d4s plus your modifier.
So that's 15 points of damage on that next hit. I'm just going to knee him right in the balls for 15 points of damage. And then the next hit is a 18.
18 is enough.
All right, and then damage, and that is 5 points of damage. And I will go to headbutt him right in the nose, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Well, as you headbutt him, he just takes one step back, and you feel him go limp in your silk.
All right. I will, after the fight's over, kind of bleeding.
He looks in a pretty bad condition. The second blow that you gave him, he wasn't conscious. So he's technically at 2 death save.
You're gonna kill him.
Oh my gosh.
You've nearly killed him.
That's what he gets.
I mean, he came after me out of nowhere. What am I supposed to do? I will look at him. What does he look like?
He
What-
looks
like, what does it-
he looks like someone that is 1 death save away from dying.
Yeah, I mean, you got
Okay,
6
okay.
seconds.
He
until
looked
makes
like a
another
person
save.
a bit ago.
Just like
Now
you
he
know,
looks
Toby.
like a.
You got 6 seconds till he makes his save.
So the problem is that you've made your 2 attacks, and his turn arrives, and he rolls a 6.
Can't you just knock him unconscious with your final attack if you want to?
I could if I asked to do unlethal damage.
No, that's not a.
Toby was swinging for the
That's
fences.
not really a thing in 5th edition. It's just like when
Really?
you knock someone unconscious, you can choose to with a melee attack.
You can choose to pull your attack. It's gonna do 1 point of damage, but he was already
Alright.
unconscious, so
Yeah,
it's still.
yeah.
The appropriate thing to do here is save the man's life.
All right. How would I do that? Use an herbalist kit? What do I do?
I mean, you have to let him roll first because your turn's over.
Yeah,
All right. He rolls. He rolled a 6, right? That's what you said.
he rolled
Yeah,
a
he
6. So
He's
when
dead.
you let him loose from your silk, the man is
Yeah.
dead.
Ah!
Just killed him.
I look at his dead body. I'm like, I'm kind of looking around to see if anybody was watching. Is anybody looking at us?
You're looking around, and then you hear a high-pitched voice coming from somewhere behind you, screaming, "Mom!" And you see a kid running away.
I'm gonna pick up his body really quick, and I'm going to run off with it.
Whoa, that doesn't look good.
What am I supposed to do? Leave his dead body there?
Say the
Uh,
man came at you. What are you? Why
yeah,
do you make
you
yourself
have to-
look sus?
Yeah.
All right. I'll leave it there. I'll stand right there, all beat up. Okay. I'll stand there, all beat up, and I'll wait for someone to get there. Okay.
Oh no. Well, I'll
What
tell
else
you
am I
what,
supposed
Toby.
to do?
No one's challenging you again because you're now
I
challenge
just-
Toby. Puts you on the
Let's
ground.
see how this pans out. But
I'm
let's
standing there
no more
waiting.
comments on his actions. Let's just see how this goes.
I'm going to poke his. No. I'm just gonna wait there. I'm gonna wait there to see what happens.
Well, it takes a little it takes a little time, but eventually you do see a woman arriving. She looks a bit confused as his child keeps saying that 2 people just beat each other out until one of them wasn't moving. And as she arrives, she just asks you, "What happened?" She looks at him, not moving. Is he
I
dead?
can't. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten close enough to check, but I just left this woman's house. This old woman's house. I came out. He started fighting me, so I had to defend myself. And the next thing I know is he's down on the ground, like knocked out. So I defended myself.
Yeah! I mean, you defended
I wasn't
yourself,
trying to kill him.
but why is he dead then?
I have no idea. I guess he wasn't as strong as he thought he was.
I have no idea how he died. He says as he has welts on his hands from the killing blow.
Actually, from his head. He killed a man with a headbutt.
Yeah.
Your
I don't know
forehead's
how
just
he died.
getting
Every
more and
bone in
more
his
swollen
body is
as you're
broken.
talking.
But he should be fine.
He should be fine. I think he's just asleep. Okay.
We're not using a diamond on him, Toby, by the way. I'm letting you know that right now.
Obviously.
Yeah, he attacked you.
He attacked
Dork
me.
wasn't
That's what I'm telling him.
Yep.
I'm saying he attacked me. I
Like,
defended myself.
All right.
He thought he was all that.
Make a persuasion roll.
Oh my gosh.
That thing he's really good at.
A 15.
Okay.
Straight.
You have a moment of panic as this person is looking at you, looking at the body, the blood. But there is a moment where you see that, okay, she's sort of relaxing. This might be good for me. This never happens in our village. I mean,
Do you know who he is?
no.
Have you seen this man before? I don't know who he is.
So you say he attacked you first?
Yeah, he attacked me first out of nowhere.
Did he do anything that would suggest that he didn't mean to kill you?
No, he would. I mean, you could see my face. I'm bleeding. I'm literally like he was going for killing shots.
Well, you're not dead.
I'm not. I'm not. I will say that I'm not dead. It's because I defended myself better than he could fight me.
This is a very confusing moment.
All right. How about this? Okay.
You don't tell anybody, and I won't
Yeah.
kill you also.
Yeah. No. I'll take his body. I'll go get it checked out to see if he's still alive, and
If
I
he's
will,
not, dump him in the river.
yeah, and if he's not, then I will. I'll make sure that he's taken care of. Okay.
No, that's a good idea, actually. Stay here. I'm gonna go get someone. There's someone in the village right now that can probably help. I'll be back. 10 minutes later, audience, you see a woman arriving in front of you saying, "There's been a murder. Someone was attacked and someone's dead. I can recognize that you're a holy man. Maybe you can help."
Well, of course. Let me come. Quick, take me to the scene.
And so,
I sit down next to the nearest wall. Okay, waiting for her to get back.
5 minutes later, you see audience arriving. Audience, you see Tobiyashi covered in blood. And you see this other monk dead, also covered in blood.
All right. Well, I'll be like, Toby, are you okay? What happened? Was he like a part of the hunter cult? Did he attack you?
All I know, I was looking for a kimono. I left this old woman's house. It's right over there. I start to walk out. This man is looking at me, and he attacks me out of nowhere. So I defend myself. Next thing I know, he's passed out on the ground. Assuming he's
he's not
knocked
passed
out.
out. He's not passed
Dead.
out. He's dead, Toby.
Well, I didn't try to kill him. It's not like I was meaning to.
All right.
You know I don't like killing things.
Audience is gonna look and see if there's any like amulets or anything that could identify this monk as like part of anything.
I've never seen him before in my life. He doesn't even have a hunter cult pin on him.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if I can identify where he might be from.
All right, make an investigation roll. That's more to see if how long it's going to take for you to find something, because it's a monk. They don't have a lot on them.
All right. Well, I got -1 to it, so it might not be. It's a 9. It's fine.
Okay. Well,
Fine for
it
me.
takes a little bit of time, but eventually you do find a medallion identifying him as a member of a monastery. You remember seeing the emblem in a temple somewhere So you're pretty sure he's from this island chain, but you don't know the name of the temple, or you don't know exactly which monastic group he might be from. He looks to have lived a very modest life. He only has a few silver in his pocket. You do notice that he had a dagger and he didn't use it.
Toby, I have a question because I'm not aware of monk practices, but do oftentimes monks from temples like fight each other to see who's stronger and like honorable duels?
Would I know that?
Yes, you would.
Would I know?
And yes, it happens.
Yes.
Your master was challenged several times during your learning with him.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I believe this was just a monk from another monastery, Toby, just trying to challenge you to see who is stronger.
Yeah, wait,
You killed.
how? I'm sorry that I killed him, but how am I supposed to know if he was part of the hunter? We've been through a lot since I've left my fucking monastery. Okay, like how am I supposed to know he's not trying? He had a dagger on him. How am I supposed to know he's not trying to kill me?
He didn't use it.
So what are we supposed to do?
Well, Toby, this is kind of... I mean, I believe that you should go probably make reparations to the monastery and apologize for your actions. So here's the emblem. I'll hand him the emblem. And, yeah.
Should we go bury him?
I mean, we should. I'm not... Unless the bard has some power to bring him back, but... I don't know. We could keep him around for a bit to see if the Silver Bard could bring him back. I'm not gonna res him.
I'm not gonna res him. Okay. I will say, all right. I will pick up his body and take him with us.
No, we're not taking him to the tavern, Toby.
Where are we taking him?
I'm not bringing a dead body into the tavern.
Where do you want me to store him then? While we wait for the bard. You're the one who made the suggestion. Wait for the bard.
Yeah, sure. We can put him in my dimensional space, I guess.
He's definitely gonna.
He's already dead. What are you talking about, Toby? He's not alive. There's no bringing him back from the brink. Look, I'll put my hand on him, and I'll use a point of lay on hands. Look, Toby, I'm healing him. You see how it's not doing anything? He's dead.
All right. We'll put him in your space, okay?
You open your space to put him in, and this is where you realize that, hey, we did a good thing by taking the bomb out of this. As you open it, it is a freezer in there.
Well,
you
good,
see your
preserve
breath appears as you're entering your dimensional space. It is cold enough to freeze water.
Oh, well, this is perfect. This is... Audience. I don't know much about this, but I do believe that sometimes where they used to keep dead bodies was known to be cold if they were trying to...
I'm just talking to audience. I'm like, I didn't mean a nat 20 hit him. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I believe they call it cold storage.
Yeah. All right, well, audience will kind of lean him up against a barrel of blood, prop him up, cross his hands in front of his chest, and be like, well, I guess we'll bring him back, and I'll talk to the rest of the party. Otherwise... I'll hand him the medallion again. This is if you want to do any research into the sect, because either you got to go apologize and make reparations to them, or they're probably going to be coming after you.
All right. Okay. All right. I will do. I turn over to the lady. I'm like, I'm sorry for what your son had to witness. I bow, and then I start walking with the audience back to the tavern.
She awkwardly bows. You hear the cries of a child nearby. Ah! And you all walk back to the tavern. You're lucky to have succeeded in your persuasion. Because you succeeded, she went for audience. If you had failed, she would have went to the only authority that the...
On our way back, I start trying to explain to Toby the meanings of an honorable duel and the normal rules and guidelines that go along with them.
They start with the other person saying, "I challenge you to a duel."
Yeah, he never said anything to me. He just
Did he bow at you?
he didn't do anything.
Did you bow at him?
No, he just started fighting me.
Oh, Tobiyashi, are you honest with this? Because
What did he do? Did he?
Yes,
I didn't
he
remember
bowed.
if he did.
I want to
He
know if
bowed?
you're doing a deception or persuasion roll. He did bow before
Or
it
you
all
really
started.
just did forget.
So
Sounds like he just doesn't remember.
So that's why I want you to be honest. Is it a persuasion or a deception roll? Did Tobiyashi really forget?
It'll be persuasion.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's a 5.
You know, it's not convincing. You get the feeling that he's not sure. But he says he is. But he...
Okay, Toby, did you bow?
I did not.
Yes, you did.
You did, but it's okay.
You bowed like as a greeting, and then
He bowed, you bowed,
damn.
and the fight started.
I did ask him. I asked him 3 times what he was doing here, why he's trying to fight me.
So,
what
audience,
race is he?
with Tobiyashi's role, you get the feeling that the moment is very confused in his mind. That might be something.
Toby, my guess is he bowed and you didn't even notice and probably responded in a way that he thought it was okay to attack you.
Yeah, I mean, I asked him like 3 times what he was doing here, why he's trying to fight me. He didn't answer me once.
Maybe he's a mute.
How am I supposed to know that? Dude, okay, all right. I'll make my reprimands. Okay, we'll figure out what happened. But first, we need to get back for when the bard gets here. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, technically we can bring him back. It just costs a lot of money.
Not anymore.
What do you mean, not anymore?
Been much longer than a minute.
This is well over a minute.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh.
Nope, we can't
Getting
bring
to
him
you
back.
was probably more than a minute.
Yeah, that is true. We can't actually bring him back. Sorry, Toby.
Well,
We're just gonna have to bury him.
there are some people in the garden that can, but it's going to cost even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's up to you, Toby. That's your money. I'm not paying for it.
God dang it! Why did I roll a nat 20? The one time a nat 20 is not needed.
It wasn't the nat 20. It was the headbutt after the man was already knocked out.
He was already dead after I nat 20'd him.
No, he
after
wasn't.
I kicked his
That
balls.
No,
was-
no.
You knocked him. No, you knocked him out, and then you headbutted him, which gave him two failures on his death save.
All right. Well,
It was a really good natural 20. You know, you just pummeled him and he just, and then took another blow.
all right. Well,
It's fine. I'll ask the bard if he can help. If not,
we'll bury him.
okay, we're not gonna try and bring him back. That's fine. That's up.
We
to you.
could try to bring him back, but I mean, it's gonna be. All right, fuck it. We'll see. We'll see.
We are
When we
part
get
of an
back, we'll see.
organization, Toby, that can bring this guy back, but it's up to you, because I
All
will
right.
not pay for it.
All right,
Just
I'll do
saying,
it. I'll-
it can be that. My plan wasn't to end with the other monk dying, but just so that you know, this can be an interesting subquest for you personally. Just to let you know.
All right, you know what? We'll try to bring him back. For now, just keep him in your space. Make sure nothing happens to him.
Okay. Well, nothing's gonna happen to him in its space. It's cold. I mean, something will probably happen to him after a few weeks, but he'll actually be preserved pretty well in there.
All right,
What
good.
does the soul do after death? Where's
A
it
lot
gonna
of
go?
things.
Oof.
You know, that's a.
Yeah, is it just
Way
gonna
to
be
get into
trapped
it.
in that dimension? Just be like, what the fuck? Where's
No,
the afterlife?
It's not trapped in that dimension. It's
So,
We'll see who comes back when we revive him.
most likely, Remy, you get the end of this weird conversation between audience and Tobiyashi as they get back inside the inn talking about keeping a corpse and the preserved space of audience.
Raimi, hold on. Raimi, in response to this, as they're just like walking in,
You just see me bloody.
just gives a shake of the head, and you hear in a woman's voice, ah, amateurs.
You know what? I need something to drink.
Yeah. Is
I'll go
everyone
get-
at the tavern right now, by the way?
If what?
Sitting in the shade under one of the.
He's probably just outside, you know.
No, it's cold. Actually, I'm probably in the tavern.
Okay, well then, yeah. Then in that case, Remy and Jorg hear the end of this conversation.
But Fisher's not.
Well, he decided to say yes to the question, are you sure you want to go back to the inn so you can skip to the next event? So I guess
so he
everyone's
is-
there.
Yeah.
Yes, I get a drink of whatever. Thinking about how I just murdered somebody. And how I'm gonna bring him back.
And so, yeah, Jorg, you wanted to say something?
Well, I'll
I'm pretty sure Fisher and George see me coming back in.
Oh, I think everyone sees you. You're covered in blood and look
Yeah.
hurt.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess there's not much I can do.
I'll
That's
walk
pretty
over, hand Toby my rag of cleansing, and then walk over to audience. Be like, what happened?
So, from what I can gather,
I'm
a
just kicking
monk
myself
from
up.
another monastery challenged Toby to an honorable duel. Toby, somehow not realizing it was an honorable duel, killed him. And so now we just have this monk from another monastery who's dead in my space.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we will put the bomb in there. Wait for a little bit. Open it. No more problem.
Remove the evidence.
There's not a problem. They're not looking for us.
Yeah, I've never seen this monk in my
That-
life. I don't know what happened.
It's not about getting
I'll
away
walk
with
back
it.
over to Toby. Hey, Toby, what actually happened?
I walked out. Okay, you wanted? Can we do this in like my room or your room?
Sure.
Okay. I'd rather not talk about this in front of everybody. I clean myself up. We go into his room. Okay, so what happened was I was looking for a kimono. People sent me on this quest to find this old lady, all right? I found this old lady. She didn't have what I was looking for, so I was thinking about sending a request in to my monastery, okay? I walk out of the store. This man comes up to me, starts fighting me, and I defend myself, and my last hit was a kill shot. I wasn't meaning to kill him, but a lot of fucked up stuff has happened to us since I've left my monastery. The only thing I thought was to defend myself was a death battle. What else was I supposed to do? I didn't know if he was part of the Hunter Cult or not. I didn't know what he was a part of. We literally just fought a freaking ice snake. What else am I supposed to do here?
Well, first of all, way to go. You won.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job. You did good enough, apparently. Second of all, I mean, yeah, it sounds like. I mean, like, if they didn't make it clear enough,
He bowed,
Of,
but
like,
like
the-
all of us bowed to each other. Like we bow. It doesn't mean that it's initiating a fight. And I asked him 3 times what he was doing here after we shared our first blows.
And he didn't say anything back?
He never answered me. But I have this pendant, and I'm willing to try to revive him when we get back to the garden, if we can. It's not like I want to leave him for death. I don't know if he's going to come back the same. But
that's all up to you. I mean, if you want my point of view, that's garnered for over a whole, 3.5 years of sentient existence. That's not really your fault. He's dead. That's on him for obviously not recognizing that you didn't know what was going on. And I was in an honorable duel where I got killed before we got to the garden.
See, exactly.
And just because it's a set-up duel doesn't mean it's not to the death. So if he wasn't clear about intentions or rules beforehand, that's kind of on him, and I wouldn't feel guilty about it.
All right. Well, I'll see what I can do. I'll decide on by the time we get back to the garden if I should revive him or not. But I will go to his monastery.
Maybe.
If
you want.
I'll decide.
Do we know where it is?
I don't know. I'll have to figure out. I have this pendant right here that I found on him, and I'll show him. What does the pendant look like?
You don't recognize the insignia, other than remember seeing it in the temple somewhere. So it's probably related to some monastic tradition somewhere, but it feels like something that you just glanced while you came inside a temple. So it's not a major one, it's not a big one. It's probably a minor temple somewhere that doesn't have a lot of recognition.
Okay.
You'd have to make a little bit of research to figure out exactly which one it is.
All right, I'll tell Fisher.
Because the image is familiar to you, your first clue is it's probably somewhere in the island chain.
All right, I'll tell Fisher. I'm like, it doesn't look too important. Like, I don't recognize it at all. So, we could just bury him with it and call it a day. But, man, I really just killed somebody. But, I don't know. That's something for me to deal with. I'll figure this out.
Yeah, that... I'm not really the person to talk to for help with spiritual and emotional growth or assistance.
Well, you being the only one that asked or was wondering why, I thank you for it. But I'm going to go back out and have a drink and think about what I'm going to do.
All right. Yeah. You do that. Just don't walk around telling people you murdered somebody, because then they're going to think you murdered somebody instead of killed somebody. And I think there's a pretty big difference there.
Okay. I won't.
All right.
And then I walk out and go to get a drink at the bar and wait for the bar to get here after I clean myself up with the rag.
Okay. From inside of you, Fisher, you hear Taranad go, so he killed someone because he was too confused to realize it was a duel, huh?
Kind of. I'm not going to fault him for that. He's been through some shit. Defensive gut reactions, probably normal.
Yeah. Judging by what you all saw when a god tried to confuse you, I'm guessing you all have some pretty important, how did you put it? Shit to deal with? I mean, you had to be restrained magically to attack your fellow member. And he did it out of reflex. That should talk about a person.
I mean,
But you did a good job making him feel less responsible about it.
thank you.
That's exactly how I was expecting it to be said. Not sure it's a good thing, but hey. Good try.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, you know.
I mean, some people, when they are faced with danger, they defend themselves. Others, they kill the other thing. Well, apparently your friend kills the other thing.
Oh, I mean, I guess. I'd say that's a very fine line that could be easily crossed, but you know.
Yeah. All right.
I wasn't there, so I'm not gonna read into it more than what he told me.
I really need to get to learn how to talk to your worm. He really feels like the most intelligent person in your group. And we get the camera that fades on here, because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about this.
Have you seen his alphabet? That thing's whack.
Twice.
He's obviously smarter than you.
Let's just imagine that you try and reason Terranad for the next 20 minutes. We're just not going to submit the viewers to that. And so, Remy, you have the last word before we go to the break. As you see Tobiyashi coming down, looking not as distressed as before, but still very distressed and apparently a bit confused. Remorseful.
Well, since Raimi doesn't know, he's been like dissed twice in like the span of 5 minutes in private conversation. It just kind of like sees Tobiyashi like walking up to the bar again, I assume.
Yeah, and probably ask the strongest thing they have.
Yeah.
That thing that's that's discoloring the barrel. I want that.
Then, you know what? Just a few meters away, like you hear a very soft ding, and then a few moments later, a chocolate truffle appears before Kobayashi.
Chocolate is comforting, yes.
Just
I'll
like
take it.
floating in the air and then gently sets itself down in front of your mug.
What coin did you place inside?
It was just a copper.
Okay. It's good.
It would have been just a little bit higher if he'd actually managed to hide the body before it was discovered.
It tastes good. It's not stellar, but it tastes good. And it helps you. The meltiness of
I'll
it.
look at
The chocolatiness
I'll
of
look
it.
at Remy. I'll nod. And then I'll eat it. And then drink some of the ale. And think about what I'm gonna do while we're on break.
Yeah. All right, so as everyone looks slightly distressed. No, not distressed. Only Tobiyashi looks distressed. Remy looks disappointed. The audience looks well, maybe a little bit amused, but also slightly disappointed in Tobiyashi. Jorg, well, you know, the guy's dead and his soul is most likely moved on, so. And Fisher still arguing with Terranad as he's coming down the stairs. You slowly sit down and try to put the incident away, and as the camera starts to fade, you hear people outside rejoicing, and you hear someone saying, "He's here! He's here!" And so, as the camera completely fades away, you get this one last shot of this silver dragonborn bard arriving in town. Very close to noon. Alright, so after this intriguing incident, we're gonna go take our 15-minute break, and we'll be back, well, like I said, in 15 minutes to see, well, how the player handles the bard. Hopefully they won't try to kill him. So I'll see you back. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna tease you about it for a while. We're gonna be back in 15 minutes. So, oh yeah, and let's see, a little bit of music as we're leaving. Let's go with the melancholy of it. A little bit of rain. Yeah. Alright, so see you all back in 15 minutes. Oh. Hello, and welcome back. As you can see, there is one person missing. Don't worry, he's going to be back soon. Just a little bit of personal problem. But to answer a question that first time someone asked a question, so I want to answer it personally. So Red Jack, yeah. So the composition of the party: the druid is a shepherd druid. Audience is a crown paladin. Is that it?
Yes.
Tobiyashi is a monk fighter, but the subclass of the monk is one that's been specifically made for this campaign, which is the Way of the Silk Dancer, depending on who you ask. Remy is a arcane trickster, and Fisher is a eldritch knight. And technically, Remy is the smartest character of the group, but Fisher has an NPC in his backpack that might actually be the smartest character of the group. And Audience is the face of the group, as he has the best charisma, is the most easy to recognize as being honorable, for the light, you know, paladins. And Tobiyashi has been traumatized over and over again in his life. And that's the party. So I hope
Just a traumatized monk.
I hope it answers most of your questions. And thank you for asking. You're the first one who actually takes the time to ask questions. Well, since the campaign started, so this is why I wanted to answer you as we start again. And I also wanted to give a few minutes to Fisher to finish with his problems. But apparently it's...
Now that I am thinking about it.
It's enduring
Like,
problems.
What's Audience's charisma again? It's like, what, up 14 or 15 or something?
My first what?
Your charisma.
I don't remember what Audience's charisma score is.
14. Yeah, 14.
Okay,
It's not
actually,
super high.
I mean, you're still the face for obvious reasons, but Raimi and Fisher have the same. Raimi and Audience have the same charisma score.
You know, but Audience looks like a door because of how large he is.
Meanwhile, Raimi could probably sit on his shoulder very comfortably.
don't know, but maybe around his neck, not just one shoulder, but really like a kid. Probably would be a fantasy of Remy also. But hey,
Well, on his shoulder, just like maybe like even outstretching his arms a bit, like he's a bird.
having his dreams of flying. All right, so getting back in. As the camera pans back into this small village where a stranger was murdered, we go back to the party hearing outside the exclamation of joy of various villagers as they see the Silver-tongued Bard arriving in the village. Of course, you hear a lot of excitement. You hear people that are way too excited, along people that are just excited. You think someone fainted. But in general, they're pretty happy to see him. As you also gathered before, usually bars of this level of reputation don't make the detour for small villages. So they sort of feel very privileged to have him join the... Aha! I've found the name of the village again!
Hey.
The village of Darnell! Yay!
Darnell.
I knew I had it written somewhere.
Audience is going to lean over towards the rest of the group, I guess besides Toby, because Toby's not down here, and be like, we should wait to discuss business with the bard until after he performs. These villages rarely get these kind of opportunities, and it would be against my wishes for us to like ruin their evening of entertainment by trying to discuss business until after he's performed.
Well, you're talking about among yourself. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say dead silence. No one cares. Okay, talking to the
I'm not there. I can't say anything.
I
I'm
mean,
by the
like,
bar.
the best thing I could say is that that maybe a bit unfortunately, audience, but Raimi is a little distracted as he hasn't stopped staring at the bard since he arrived.
All right. Well, audience is just gonna assume you guys heard me.
You realize that Remy is completely distracted. Tobiyashi is still looking at the bottom of his glass. Basically, the only one listening to audience is Jorg. And Orunak.
That's fine, as long as someone hears me.
So,
All right.
maybe I should put back the crickets. I don't have just the crickets, sorry. So, with Remy staring at this Dragonborn arriving, and a bit of a fanfare, if you would. You alright, Sam? Okay. That was a weird sound.
He just saw the bard. He was amazed.
So, like I said, everyone is very excited about this, and you see everyone buzzing around, asking him questions. What will be the tale for tonight? What exactly is he going to do? And he does explain slightly as he's walking toward the tavern, and you're hearing more and more about his answer. Apparently, he's going to start a little musical representation. There's going to be a story for everyone. But just as he's arriving toward the inn and he sees all of you, you recognize a hint of recognition as he sees you. And he says, and there's been a request, apparently. A special story for the end of the evening. And he enters the inn as he's saying this. Any reaction?
I guess.
Any reaction?
I mean, this is the first time I've
Do-
seen him, so.
We haven't seen
Raimi-
him before, right?
Raimi just like gives a brief shake of the head as like and then just kind of like gives a 3-talon wave.
I look back with my glass. I look at him, and I'll take a drink, and then I'll put it back on the thing and wait for another refill.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Will do.
Are you drinking yourself into a drunken stupor?
That is a 22.
All right. Well,
I'm drinking.
for now, you're taking the alcohol fairly well.
Audience, I guess we'll just give a nod. Like,
I need to still listen to what he's gonna say.
I know who you are.
Well, everyone just pushes him in toward the counter where Tobiashi is trying to drink peacefully. Party level is level 6 right now. So everyone just follows him. He enters the place very charismatically, as you would expect a bard. When Remy waves at him, he returns the waves, gives a slight bow, but goes back to everyone asking, begging for his attention, trying to force him to start playing music right now and not necessarily wait for later on for anything that has to be done. But the bard simply says that he needs a little bit of time. Everything needs preparation, and the best of story needs the best of preparation. And so, as he turns around, you see something moving in his backpack. And he gives a bow in front of everyone. As he bows down, you see a ragdoll puppet crawling out of his backpack, also giving a bow to everyone. Immediately, you see all of the children go, "Oh, I have to help my aide." Very useful in telling story. He's incurred a little bit of damage during the our travel. He needs to be sewn back together. So I'll need a little bit of privacy. But fear not, I will be ready to perform as soon as the sun sets. Until then, thank you for the reception. It was very well appreciated and impressive. Now, if you will excuse me, I need to do a bit of sewing. And he just goes and sits on a table, and you see the puppet just walking down his shoulder, going on the table, and he starts sewing him back. For you, Remy, there's something a little bit familiar in the way that the puppet moves. You get the feeling that this is his version of a familiar. But for now, that's what he does. He orders a little bit of food and ale, and he starts sewing back what looks like a small tear in the shoulder of the puppet. Takes a little bit of time, maybe half an hour, until people just starts calming a little bit. You see people just rushing back to whatever they were doing, some hold on for a moment just in case he starts playing. But after the second hour, everyone just goes back to their business. And the tavern is once again very calm, with the exception of you four, as Fisher has gone outside. I think he was looking for Olenak. He wanted me, but, you know.
Could we tell if he recognized all of us or just like audience or something?
Well, he definitely nodded in the direction of Remy when he waved in his direction. So there is a recognition for Remy, probably a personal recognition. But for the rest of the group, there was a general recognition, as if someone might have talked to him about you.
Oh. All good, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, we know that if he's talked with that one person from the monastery, he might know of us because they were friends.
Naifa?
The monk girl with the
You forgot the name of someone you are interested in?
What?
Audience?
Too many of them.
Listen, there are a lot. Okay, can't remember all.
You know what? Just like I don't know. Has the silver tongue bard actually gotten breathing room? Or are people still crowding around him?
They're not crowding around him. They've mostly left him alone, but some are still hanging around just in case he decides to give a little improvised show or cave in and actually gives a free performance. But they're not around him. They're sitting in the bar, in the tavern, awkwardly looking in his direction every 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's like when you look at someone and they're staring at you, and then you look at them and then they look away, and you're like, "Dude, what am I supposed to do?"
In which case, people that weren't looking in his direction at the time would just hear another ding, and then Raimi is just now popping off of his out of his chair and walking up to the silver-tongued bard with a truffle in his hand.
And what was the coin inside of that truffle?
Still only a gold, because Raimi knows better
Okay.
than to try to put a platinum in and possibly make this man addicted.
All right. Well,
But then we'd have a
go.
bard that would follow you around and give you platinum all the time.
Well, as soon as he sees the truffle arriving, he looks down and... Somehow, I thought I'd meet you again. That is very generous of you. He looks at it with a... Well, I don't know how thick dragon-born eyebrows are, but he raises an eyebrow, or the equivalent of it for a dragonborn. Something that you're familiar with, you know, always looking at audience. I do recognize a bit of magic mixed in with this. Should be interesting. So, tell me, my feathered friend, what have you been up to? And he takes the truffle, takes just a little bite out of it. Exquisite. Very intriguing. I didn't know they grew this type of fruit here.
So, Raimi just initially just making the in response to the comment, just makes the little rainbow.
as you're doing this, you get the feeling that there's a good synergy between him and his familiar. Because just as you're about to make this rainbow with your illusory spell, you see the familiar take a step forward, put his hand in front, and for some reason your rainbow comes out 5 times as big as normal, with a few bits of sparkle coming out of it. The puppet looks slightly proud of what he's just done. Like,
Oh, Raimi's eyes glitter at that, just like amazed at what just came out. Like,
oh yes, he is very, very proficient in making sure that every special effect is hard to miss. And so tell me, what have you been up to? And I assume that those are your party as they keep staring at you. Unless you've taken something that they want back. He looks at you a bit honestly, but also mostly as an amusement.
so Raimi, like for the brief moment, just kind of whistles kind of at that last comment, but Raimi kind of nods a bit and even kind of looks over to I guess kind of gives a more cursive nod toward to audience.
Of course. Another son of dragons. I do believe that you also have a bit of a gift for conversation, attracting attention. And he looks at your sword and fighting.
I try to do my best in many different areas.
Well, I hope you will stay for tonight's final presentation. As someone has asked, but I don't see him. A man with a black cloak was asking me a very specific tale earlier today. I do believe he was following me for a while. Have you anything to do with this?
No, I believe there. Yeah, audience would know this. I believe there is someone with a black cloak that comes from our organization, but I've never really seen him. The most I've ever seen is the whisk of a black cloak leaving a room, and that was once. He's very. What I've heard is he keeps to himself.
Well, apparently he said that there might be some fellow Dragonborn who might be interested in a very specific tale. I hope you will be staying for this representation. If not, well,
I will be.
All right.
Plan to stay.
Who knows? Maybe he'll join us. Maybe you can ask him his name if he does.
Maybe.
Well, do you have anything else you'd like to talk about? I do seem to have a little bit of time. I merely finish repairing my little friend. And you see the puppet just go. Well, yeah, he doesn't talk a lot, but fortunately he does have spells which can do just as well.
We've got a friend like that you apparently know.
Oh?
He doesn't use spells, it's Raimi. How do you know Raimi? Is what I'm getting at.
Oh, well, yes, your feathered friend. Well, Remy, actually just crossed my path. I believe it was... Hold on. I believe it was in Caravel. Or was it Otanel? Well, anyway, he arrived in the town square just as I was finishing to tell a story. He seemed to have been quite enthralled with the end of the story as he came toward me, asked me a question in a manner that is a little bit familiar with me, so we exchanged a few words about having a like-minded friends. He gave a little contribution and took a little contribution from people watching, and he looks at you, Remy, as he says this, and then left.
Whistling sound again.
Guessing he... No, wait. I suppose I wouldn't know what thieves' cant is, so I'm not going to comment on that.
Well, being a group of people that has its own secret language, you'd probably know that rogues have one. You just don't know how to read it.
I'll just say I think I get what you're talking about. And then I will also clutch or keep in mind where my coin pouch is.
Bards swindle you in another way, Jorg. They don't swindle you by taking from you.
They
Okay.
make you want to throw your money at them.
Yeah. As shown by my 20 gold that disappeared in, like, I think the third or fourth episode.
Hey! Her name is on my list of NPCs roaming the island. You might meet her again someday.
Yeah. I wonder if
It's
she'll
another
remember
20.
that 20 gold I dropped at, like, level 2.
That's another 20 platinum right there.
Alright, let's see. Do we have anything? We do have stuff to ask the bard. But I don't know if that's being brought up in the story later. Would I talk about that? What would audience talk about? Oh, I guess I'd ask that. So, Naifa, she says she knows you pretty well. We ran into her up in the monastery. Have you talked to her since then?
Not in the last month or two, but yes, I do know her pretty well. We've traveled quite a good distance together.
Oh, I finally was able to find this note, and now that you brought up Natha, just Raimi just like opens up his mouth very briefly, and in Natha's voice says, "Oh, Snuggy Poo."
You have a moment where you see... It's the perfect moment where today we say, computer just froze. But from the bard going, yes, that really does confirm that you've met her. I do wish you would stop calling me that. I keep telling her, only little girls get to call me this. Not
That's
grown
creepy.
people. one of our adventures. There was this small village lost at the foot of a mountain, right next to a large forest where odd creatures roamed. One day, the village was attacked by one of those shadows. Many people were afraid, many were worried, and one little girl lost her parents. The story ended well, and ever since, she has been calling me Snuggy Poo whenever I meet her. Unfortunately, she is aware of it. She does seem to really like saying this around crowds. She most likely was hoping you would say this as I was arriving. I don't know if it was intentional, but if it was, thank you for your discretion.
Maybe he does actually feel a little bad. Like his eyes soften a bit, just like, oh. I don't want to make the handsome dragon boy feel bad.
Although he does look slightly annoyed by the name. The story itself doesn't seem to be bringing bad memories in his mind. He did, after all, save a little girl from a very grim fate. And an entire village as well. So.
Well, how long until you start your performance?
Shouldn't be long, as I said. As soon as the sun starts to set, I will make a small musical performance, followed by a first story. The first story is more for the children, because not all parents like their child to be involved in storytelling, which involves heroic combats and self-sacrifice sometimes, and monsters which can wake up a child in the middle of the night hoping that the bard will come and rescue him 5 days after he has left. So most likely mostly adult for the last story.
Yes. Well, I have this, and I don't know if you would know anything about it, but I do have this prophecy that we were given that if you know something would be helpful if you could tell us if you know any maybe more information about it, since we've not been able to find anything on it.
Okay.
I'll pull out whatever scribbled thing I had the prophecy scribbled on. Let's see. It says, "The hunter has awakened. 3 trophies will it seek. Essence from the shadow of a god, the will of an unbreakable mind, a feather hidden within a dream. Only then can the blood of the sacrifice be accepted." Not a light and breezy prophecy.
No, without context, it's a bit hard to nail it down perfectly. Maybe you could give me a little more information about when this happened, who gave it to you, why was it given to you? What were you doing when this happened?
Naitha actually was the one who gave it to us, but it was not really her, if that makes sense. She seemed to have been taken over by a divine entity.
I see.
Which is what?
Maybe for visual representation, since I think he might have been the only one to see this part.
He was. I did see it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe kind of like I guess like maybe a little bit discreetly, just like makes like a small version of Nefa's face at the time with the raccoon mask over her face.
And
see.
we had just came from the temple where, I don't know if you are aware of the hunter cults, and they've been caught stirring up trouble in this island chain recently, but we had just came from where an avatar of the hunter god had been awakened, basically, and while we had defeated him at the spot, he was able to escape, and we had returned to the temple where Neifa was at. So that was the context of when this prophecy was given to us.
I'll come pull up a seat right next to audience. And then just sit there listening so I know.
Well, there is definitely a lot to interpret in all of this. Well, judging from what Remy said, if you don't mind, Remy, and he points toward you, audience. I'd rather call you by name than by you and fellow Dragonborn or human of nature.
Audience
I'm
is
Joel.
my name.
And
Like George.
you, Mr. Mostly Drunken Monk?
Tobiyashi.
Tobiyashi. And I know I've written down his name. Why can't I see it?
Fisher?
No, Fisher apparently still haven't found Orunak. He's still looking outside.
It's not there.
Yes. No, I was looking. I have a list of names for characters, but some of them have never come up again. So sometimes I get confused. But I found the name again. Very well. If you like, you can always refer to me as the Silver-Tongued Bard, but I have a feeling you'd rather call me by my Dragonborn name, Skahadran. So, you say. Prophecy given by a god. This god, no less. That's very interesting. Well, yes, I've heard about the cult that you're referring to. So far, they've been mostly just a nuisance. I've encountered them on a few occasions, but they've never been that much of a problem. They did say something about having my scent at one point. I returned the compliment. The person looked very confused. Never seen them again after. But I do believe that the god they're worshipping is, you could call it a forgotten god. Shold, I believe his name is. He writes it down on table, using minor illusion to keep the letters visible. S-H-O-U-L-D-T. S-H-O-U-L-D-T. You could call him a forgotten god, according to the legends. And that is all they are, legends. No one has had confirmation ever since this allegedly happened. before the shattering, this god was a druidic god. But during a divine conflict, he was imprisoned, weakened, and unfortunately for him, forgotten when his keeper was destroyed. He stayed in his prison for millennia, alone and forgotten, his power waning as more and more followers just stopped believing in him. From what I gathered, he is trying to emerge again. But now, because of his thousands of years of incarceration, completely mad. He has let the nobler elements of his making become his undoing. He was a god of hunt. Some tried praying to him after the shattering, as it would have given ample food, praying to a god of the hunt. But the prayers went unanswered. Judging from what his cult is, that aspect simply kept on going, pushing itself out of balance. Stopped being a god of hunt for survival and becoming a god of sport. Hunting for sport. Not sure if he can actually come back. That would be a question, I believe, better suited for a diviner if you know one. There is this odd synergy between events and things that happens. The way it was described to me, and this is why I say it's probably a better idea to ask further question about this part to mages, like I said, diviners, if you know one. He uses minor illusion also to give a shape to what he's explaining. We tend to see time as being something very linear. Something happens, it creates ripples and have effect from the point that this happens and forward. But if you take a different point of view, ripples go in every direction. And so this is what diviners read when they try to understand the future. They are trying to see the ripples of unavoidable events. Because those ripple, just like the ripple going forward, also go backward. This is why you can sometimes see followers of a new god appearing before the god is known. It is that ripple effect going backward. So, this might be what is happening. Followers hearing this ripple, like-minded people finding a god resonating with their way of thinking. Their little concern about who they kill and simply going for the prestige of killing. Sometime many, sometime just one, so long as it gives some sort of prestige. This can sometimes lead to effect that you're not sure where they're coming from. So I hope this helps on this subject. I can probably do more research if you want. I haven't spread the word of my arrival anywhere else. So I could probably make a little bit more research if you'd like. Oh goodness. We got bits.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Grizzly Spitz gave one bit.
A bit is a bit.
Uh-huh.
You know, one bit is like one copper. Although I'd have to travel a bit of a distance to get a good research point. Maybe if you wouldn't mind financing this research. I believe that I can get to Kohornathil with 50 golds. And depending on how long you want my research to be, maybe provide for a comfortable lodging while I'm doing these research.
I'll look around the party. I'll be like, I'll give 50 gold. We don't have any information. We need everything we can get.
I'll look at audience. I'll be like, why not? I'll give 50 gold.
That's just 10 from each of us.
10 from each of us?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh yeah, not 50 each.
Not 50 each? Okay.
And
That
just
would
for your
be-
information, comfortable lodging for someone is roughly 1.5 gold a day for a comfortable meal and room somewhere.
Alright, I will give him... You will give him 50 gold. Or at least I'll give him my portion of the 50 gold.
Yeah, I'll give him my portion.
Same.
All right, so you're paying for the component for him to go to the city. Are you paying for a long research or a bare minimum research?
But what was the difference in price?
Well, essentially, for every day of research you want him to do, if you want to provide him with comfortable lodging, it's 1.5 gold.
So 50 would be...
50 is the necessary material component to cast a spell to go directly to Kohornathil, one of the 3 largest library in the world. I'll let you think about this. I'm here and at least until tomorrow.
Yeah. So how much would it would be 20 gold for a long research?
For
1.5 gold for every day you want to provide for his needs.
That's just 5 more for us. That's not bad.
yeah, we could each give him 15 and get a good
Yeah, I'll give him 50.
Like-
30 day, a full
15
month of
days.
research? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll give him 15. And we want the...
All right, so 15 additional for audience, 15 additional from Jorg.
yeah. I will mention this later,
Okay.
but I have something that I was thinking about,
Okay.
but not in front of him.
Okay. So that's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Tobiashi and Remy, do you want to add to this? In case the research is longer?
So I'm looking.
He doesn't
Looking
feel like
over.
someone who's trying to swindle you, other than the fact that he wants comfortable lodging while he's researching.
I'll do it.
Okay. So 3 weeks of research.
It's
30 days of research.
I'm doing a thing. Yeah, nobody in the party can see this, I don't think. I'll tell you what Remy gives him.
Okay. Okay, so it's gonna be in Discord. Okay. Okay. So that's component. All right. You don't see Remy give anything, but you do see Skahadran give a nod toward Remy. All right, very well. Do you have a way for me to contact you while I'm doing my research?
Yes. We do. Do we want to give it to him, though?
We have to give him an orb?
You can. So long
We
as
can.
you warn so long as you warn the garden, you can.
Yeah. I feel like I trust him because of Naitha enough to give him an orb, but that's...
Who's orb, though?
Mm.
That's the real question.
Remy shoots his hand up in the air. Almost a little too quickly.
I was
Oh.
gonna say, people that are absent are always wrong. Fisher gives his orb.
Yeah, Fisher, give your orb. Thanks, man.
I mean,
I really hope Fisher's all right because he's been gone for a while.
I don't think Toby would mind giving his orb up.
Right, Remy wasn't joking, by the way. That wasn't me joking.
Okay.
Like Remy,
Okay, no
Remy
problem.
actually does shoot his hand up maybe too quickly.
Maybe you have a way for me to contact you.
Yeah. I'm okay with that if you want to give your orb over.
Yeah.
I can contact the guard real quick. I'll call Sarah.
As
I'm
always,
gonna
she
join audience.
Hello, this is Zero.
Hi. I just wanted to let you know, we found some useful information you've probably heard of him from some other adventures, but the Silver Tongue Bard is his formal title. His name is Skahadran, and we have funded him to go continue some research on the hunter cult for us. So we want to let you know that we are giving him one of our orbs so that he is able to contact us with the research.
Well, so long as you don't mind sharing your information, of course, we don't mind.
I was thinking also, do you guys have someone that can do this kind of research?
You're
As
asking Zero?
Yeah.
Well, the problem with our current knowledge pool is that we depend on the information that you bring back. We had no information about your world when we arrived.
So what if you guys continued to sponsor this guy? He seems like he'd be able to get around a lot and get a lot of good information.
Well,
And by you guys, I mean the guard. If that's something you guys can do.
Well, I think it would be better if you kept on funding him. It really isn't because we don't want to. It is more a question of interference.
Uh-oh. Well, we're fine funding him. It's not a big deal.
Maybe we'll just
Yeah.
maybe we'll say, since he could very clearly hear this conversation, we'll just say like, every garden is full of worms.
I get the feeling that you have a very mixed garden of reaction also in front of you with this phrase. Yeah. Yes, of course, you hear in unison from Skahadron and Syrah. Well, you have to understand, it really isn't because we don't want to. It's really a question of that's a level of interference that is. It's all right to take on things that would have been attainable in your world, but us putting our resources behind this would push us to put resources which might not have been attainable in your world.
Yeah. I do have a question while you're here, though. Have you any information from other adventurers about any potential powerful diviners that may be somewhat near our location?
Near where you are, I don't think so, but I do believe that you know at least one from someone that you know a lot of.
Yes, Antasia. I know Antasia is.
Do
you know Antasia's whereabouts, where she is right now?
Personally, no, but I do believe that her sister might easily be able to find her, as they do seem to have a healthy rivalry.
All right. Well, I will ask Amiali later. Thank you for...
But I can ask around other members of the garden if you want first. If you don't want to resort to that immediately. I can ask around.
That would be great. We have I'll put it as a tense relationship with her sister.
Very well. Well, that is something that I am glad to say that I can help you with. So I will do my best to find someone that is proficient, and I will leave it to your better judgment to decide if this person is better than your less favored alternative.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Sarah. I'll have a good evening, or whatever the garden's doing right now. I don't know.
Very well.
All right, I'll hang up.
All right.
And I'll turn to the bard. Well, for a demonstration of one of you want to see what this orb can do, there was a good one.
Well, yes. All I need now is how to activate and close it.
Yeah? And apparently as long as you share your information with the garden, they should be fine with it, so...
Well, the library is mostly public information. I don't think they'd mind if I shared anything that is that is accessible by the general population. We'll go with that first, and if we have to, try and get to the more restricted things. I do have a few favors I can call up there if things are needed. Now,
I'm going to be kind and let Remy, if he wants to, show the bard how to activate the orb, because Remy might enjoy that. And probably knows it better than me.
And you know what? Maybe even Remy, just like as he's presenting the orb, just like maybe tentatively takes their hand and just kind of like guides it on the orb a bit. Maybe floofing at the feathers a bit.
Okay. Oh, apparently we've just had a message from Fisher. His his Warforged software is having problem, and so is he. He'll be there next session, but today he won't be there. He won't be back for tonight. So give him positive energy, thought, prayer. You know, we're talking about gods, and unfortunately, I can't find his image, so you'll be stuck staring at his. Yeah, I don't know why.
Back screen.
Yeah, I can't find his picture. All right, so, all right. Now about your second question, the prophecy itself. Well, the provenance is interesting to say the least. Is there a question that you'd have that is specific, or knowing exactly where you want to go and what you want to know is a bit difficult, as the prophecy can be a bit broad.
I guess let's break it down line by line then.
All right, so really the meaning of this. Well, the thing about prophecies is that they're a bit like interpreting a dream. It's easy to have theories about what each of them means, but you'll only really know when the moment comes. For example, the second one, what did you say it was? The
will of an unbreakable mind?
Yeah. Well, you can always go with raw strength. Then powerful creatures would be something you'd be looking at. But sometimes smaller jesters can have more strength behind them. Someone resisting an onslaught of enemy is definitely someone that has a strong will, but someone that has the will to break free from chains restraining them magically. That might not show, but that is also a proof of strength of will. When you are taken by a spell like fright, and you just keep on fighting, for a while you might be disoriented, wanting to flee, but every so often you'll get a moment where you have a chance to break the hold of the fear. If you always take it at every turn, that is a proof of strength of will. You just have to find someone who will always decide to fight, even if the result is not obvious. But like I said, there are also the strong-willed that is hard to miss. I mean, a deity is has a nearly unbreakable mind compared to ours.
So what I'm hearing is there are a lot of options.
Yes. This is what I mean. This is what I mean by, is there specific direction you want me to go in? Because every single one of those prophecies can apply to many things. Even a feather hidden inside a dream. Maybe it speaks about someone wanting to open a shop and finding a feather hidden between two desks. It fits the description. It is their dream. But it can also be something hidden within the realms of dreams.
All right, let's start with what I would say is the easiest one then, essence from the shadow of a god. Would anything pop into your mind of, because that one's a little bit less, I think, more obvious, the shadow of a god. So would you know of anywhere in your travels around this island change where essence from the shadow of perhaps a past god or something that was considered a god, a temple, could maybe be gathered?
Well, many things can be considered a shadow. Is it a literal shadow or a metaphoric shadow? An echo of a god can be considered a shadow, but the looming presence of a god is also a shadow. This can be a statue of a god. It can be the psychic footprint of a god stuck between realms. You mentioned an avatar. Technically speaking, an avatar can be the shadow of a god. It's, again, many possibilities.
All right. I understand there are a lot of possibilities. Do you have any information specifically about one of those possibilities that you think could be an attempt that we could at least go check out?
All right. How about more of like, what do you think about most of these? I wouldn't call them riddles, prophecies. Where do you think we should go next with these?
Well, I think the key to solving this is figuring out who the hunter is. Once you know who the hunter is, you might be able to narrow the search. If the hunter is a person, then their trophies a mortal can reach. If the hunter is a god, then those trophies would be worthy of a god. And so, removing the lesser form of them, if the hunter is a god, I would doubt very much that a feather would imply a feather hidden between two desks in the dream job of a person. It would be something that relates to power, something that has presence. Could be hidden in a, quite literally, in the realms of dreams.
We do have some pretty wacky dreams.
Then this could be one of them. Maybe the feather is hidden within one of your dreams. How to retrieve it? That would take some imagination. Bit of resourcefulness. I'd advise asking maybe an enchanter if you know one. Or maybe simply a good glass of milk before going to bed. Maybe the answer will come by itself. I mean, you did show me something interesting about the prophecies. And if the vision of your friend here, pointing toward Remy, is right, then these prophecies were given to you specifically. So they are bound to be on your path. As the one giving them is not one that would try to push you out of your path. he would simply try to make sure you are ready for it. And so, you might simply just need to keep on walking, and answers will appear on their own. Or simply being aware of those things now. You simply need to pay attention to what happens around you. You might find someone that has an unbreakable mind, and you will have to find a way to harness its will, whatever that means. You said you encountered an avatar. Well, maybe that avatar is the key to the blood from the shadow of a god. It is already on your path. I assume that you will meet it again as you travel.
Yeah.
Maybe it will just minor illusion, a still shot of a singular drop that has fallen into a puddle and is spreading outward.
I admit that what I'm saying can be vague, but that is unfortunately the nature of prophecies. That is the problem when gods try to speak to us. They can't speak to us directly. It would just destroy our minds. This is why they never show themselves directly to us. They send avatars. That's to preserve us. Make sure we can survive this. Unfortunately, this has the effect of needing to rely on us to transmit messages. If that God wanted to transmit a message to you, it was an important one. I can assure you of that. And if he did that, if you had to have a prophecy like this, it most likely means he himself transmitted it to you. With all of the confusion that this might imply, but also the urgency that this can imply, that a god felt you needed to have this information. And again, knowing the god, it is not something that he would force on you. It is something that you will need.
All right. Well, thank you for the insight.
Well, you generously paid for quite a long research, so anytime you need more information, feel free to... He looks at the orb. Orb me?
Yeah. We will.
When you have more information, when you have new ideas, sometimes just talking about it with someone else, especially when they're surrounded with books, can help.
Suddenly, this recipe for Croatian desserts has
All right.
sparked.
All right. Well, we'll leave you to get ready for your performance, which I don't know how long we've been talking for, but...
For the stream, long enough. For the inside world, he still has a little bit of time before the first presentation.
All right, well, we'll leave you to get ready for your presentation.
Well, I hope it helps in some way. I truly do. It is a god that I believe deserve to be listened. So, any question you have, you can always try and ask. I will always do my best to ask as best as I can and is permitted. And he looks at you, Remy, when he says that. hoping you understand why he's looking at you when he says that.
Yes, as I Raimi nods.
Well then, you all look a little tired, so I will let you take maybe a short rest. Maybe take care of that nosebleed you have, Mr. Tobiyashi. Your nose has just started bleeding again.
He definitely didn't accidentally kill someone.
I look at Jorg like, I wipe my nose up. I'll take care of it.
With the
They
shut
have-
up stare.
There's definitely, I'll look at you again. There's definitely not a dead body in our dimensional storage space right now.
They
What even is a dimensional storage space?
Do we even have one?
I don't
All
think
right.
so.
Anyway,
There's definitely
we'll
not
leave
a
you.
bunch of
Anyway, we'll leave
frozen
you to
blood in
get
there,
ready.
too.
I take another drink out of my cup.
It sounds really convenient to put things that you don't want to be seen in public for an extended period of time.
I look over at the bar and I'm like, thank you for your time. I'm sorry about them. We will
Why?
contact you.
Adventures are always very colorful. I've heard stranger things, you know. He looks at you when he says that, Tobiyashi. Believe it or not, Neifa has done much worse in the past.
I'll keep that in mind. I wish you good luck on getting ready for your entertainment.
And good recovery.
Yes. Will do.
A glass of cold water right behind your neck. You know, it helps. If you have a cloth that is maybe a bit thin, gorge it with really water that's coming right from the well. It's really cold. It helps with the nosebleed. It's not going to help with healing faster, but it helps with the nosebleed.
Will do.
All right, then. Well, see you tonight. For all three representation, or just the last one?
I'll be there for all three.
Yeah.
Very
What?
well.
We've got nothing better than do.
Very well, and see you in a couple of hours.
Hopefully our friend can make it there. He's been outside for a very long time. I don't know where.
Yes,
But-
maybe you should check up on him.
Oh, Jorg will check up on him.
I mean, he did look like he was in a bit of a hurry when he left.
He usually makes his way back pretty fine. He could defend himself. I think he'll be alright.
Very well. Yes, I've heard there was a bit of a scuffle earlier on in the village, so let's hope that it's not something that he will have a problem with.
Yes.
Well, see you later tonight. And you see the his familiar mimic his gesture, just in a very solemn way. That goes back to Skahadron. All right. Well,
I will finish the rest of my drink and go to Fisher's room and meditate for a short rest, if that's enough time until it starts.
oh yes, he said in a couple of hours, so you have time to
Yeah.
2 short rests in a row.
Alright, cool. Do my short rest, meditate on what I'm gonna do, and figure this stuff out.
All right. So,
After everyone just blatantly telling him what I did.
he's a bard. He's heard worst.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Raimi's not a snitch.
Of course, he didn't say anything. I'm talking about Jorgen and
I thought he could help.
All
so,
right.
yeah.
All right. Well, this feels like an interesting moment to end today's episode. unless you have something that you absolutely need to take care of before we finish the stream. Okay. Just making sure that you all see that little box saying, "Are you sure you want to go back to your table?" You will not be able to come back to this moment after you go to your table. All right.
The silver tongue guard will remember that.
A quick save.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quick
Alright.
save before I go to the table, so technically we can. I just have to load that in.
No. I'm just gonna open up my console menu real quick, save this as a return point, and then go back into the game.
No, that's the base behind Dungeons and Dragons. You know, you always have a quick save. The problem is that programmers never input the quick load option. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Oh,
They really failed on that. When your
Yeah, so
party
don't
gets
worry, your
wiped,
progress always gets saved and it always gets remembered. But shit, you can't go back to one of your previous saves.
yeah.
That's why you gotta have multiple saves.
All right. So, as we
Yeah,
finish
one save
today's episode with the sound of crackling fires, as everyone is sitting in the inn, looking at the well, let's say new fire being lit up in the heart of the tavern. We have the bard finishing up. Everyone else sitting at a table. Tobiyashi going up to meditate on him killing someone. Jorg going outside trying to find Fisher, who seemed to have problem finding Orunak. And well, I guess that means it's just audience and Remy. And maybe Twinkling Bell, you know, we haven't heard from him in a very long time. Waiting at the table to make sure that they do not miss the beginning of the show of the bar. And so, this is where tonight's stream ends. I hope you had a pleasant evening. I hope you'll be back for next episode on next Wednesday. If you're watching this from Friday, our rebroadcast day, well, I hope you're back on for next Friday. Because apparently we have a few very loyal viewers on Friday. I think 3 or 4 that I keep seeing nearly every single stream in the chat. So hi. So if you're one of them and it's your Friday, well, I hope you're going to be there next Friday. And as always, if you enjoyed the show, you can support the stream by following us on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also support the stream by making a donation, becoming a Patreon, subscribing to Twitch, or simply by spreading the word and making sure that a whole lot of people come in, join in, and, you know, talk among themselves. It was really nice having someone ask questions. Now, the next really nice thing is having someone else answers the question because they've been here for long. That would be awesome. That's the next milestone for me. Having someone there, you know, our friend Red Jack, actually being there to answer the question of someone else asking the same questions. That would be awesome. So, thank you for watching. As always, stay safe, and especially in these weird times, stay healthy. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.